What the fuck? A ninja just broke in. That's the first thing my brain thought. You fucking asshole. What the hell kind of a sneeze is that to do when you sat right next to someone, you cunt?
Dude.
I got a new nomination for Cunt of the Week.
Sorry, I can't really do that.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Last 7 podcast, a not so philosophical wax regarding the last 7 days. I'm your host Dan Rowley. With me today, Ken Trainer,
Hello.
Justin Cliff,
Hi.
and Antonio Ramola.
Hello.
Good to have you back, mate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you were sorely missed last week.
Yeah, I missed it, man. I did.
Yeah,
miss it.
no, it's good.
I was just too knackered, too fucked.
No, it was noted very early on that you bring a much needed innocence to this podcast because the edit was horrendous. We're gonna start with an apology. I'm really sorry to both Errol Brown, may he rest in peace, and Hot Chocolate. We were supposed to finish with You Sexy Thing last week. Didn't, and finished with Spencer. So right now we're going to go for Hot Chocolate's You Sexy Thing to kick off the show.
Sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing. Where did you come from, baby? How did you know I needed you? How did you know I needed you so badly? How did you know I'd give my heart gladly? Yesterday, I was one of the lonely people. Now you're lying close to me, making love to me. I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing. Where did you come from, angel? How did you know I'd be the one? Did you know you're everything I prayed for? Did you know every night and day for every day, needing love and satisfaction? Now you're lying next to me, giving it to me. I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing. Kiss me, you sexy thing. Touch me, baby, you sexy thing. I love the way you touch me, darling, you sexy thing. Oh, sexy to see, you sexy thing. Yesterday, I was one of the lonely people. Now you're lying close to me, giving it to me. I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Kiss me, baby. I love the way you kiss me, darling. Love the way you hold me. Keep on loving me, darling. Keep on loving me, baby.
You all chaps, you good? You well rested after last week, Tom?
Yeah, I'm good now. I'm alright.
You were working back with Tin Shed, so that was a long retirement.
Yeah.
No shop, back working in the theatre.
No, it was good fun. It was alright to do it. Yeah.
Was it bollocks, mate? When you were on the phone, you're like, I can't. I've worked a fucking 20-hour day, but like.
Yeah, I was gutted because I thought I was going to be getting some lions, but it turned out that I had to get up earlier than what I get up to go to work because we had to go pick up Dino and stuff on Cabran first, and I was a bit gutted about that.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
I was good. You said no. Is it a new or a renewed respect after your brief hiatus?
Acting is exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you'd be on that lovey train, Jay.
I am on the lovey train. Well and truly. That's why I'm wearing a scarf indoors.
God, I can't wait till he starts doing some of his anecdotes.
I realised something as well.
Me, Johnny Sessions, Kenny Bloody Branagh directing. I'll have you know.
We've put the call out for people to send questions and shit.
Yeah, we certainly have. We've got one from a Twitter follower.
Alright.
Do you know what I've never thought about doing?
What?
Giving myself a message for when I'm listening to this.
Oh,
Great show.
Have you never thought about that?
we'll do it then.
Go on.
Yeah.
Hi Tone, alright? It's yourself. It's yourself talking to you. You're probably like you woke up really early on a Sunday morning to listen to this episode.
Won't be done by Sunday,
and you're probably really enjoying it. And I hope you've chosen one of your new herbal teas this time because you've got loads to get through.
Can we come back like the next time and see if this has influenced you? If you've had herbal tea and that. Sorry, herbal tea. Do finish.
Yeah. I'm having a great time right now, but I know you're probably having a good time where you are right now as well. I'm probably remembering sitting down at this podcast and how lovely it was to be with your mates and having nice chats and learning new stuff about the world. So,
I'm trying to take the piss and everything,
but yeah, I'll see you soon. I'll see you next one hour.
Look at the mirror, you dopey.
I'll see you when. Fuck.
Inspiring stuff. Well in. The ski jump we mentioned. We mentioned a lot of Winter Olympics last week.
Mm-hmm.
And the ski jump record I put at around 90 metres. Ski jump world record is held by a guy called Anders Fannemel from Norway. And it's 251.5 metres.
Fuck off.
Fucking hell.
250.
251.5 metres.
Well, that's the length that you can travel, like off the jump.
Yeah.
Well, it's less than one man's managed to travel. That's 2.5 football pitches, right?
How's that?
Yeah.
Oh man. So that's actually possible then to get that distance from
Well,
one.
yeah. If you've seen it, Tone, they are on ice, on skis.
Yeah.
There is a ramp,
It's
so they've got
stupid.
some handy stuff, and
They've
They're
got
not-
to be going
and the
fast.
hill they
They've
land
got
on.
a run up.
I know that. Oh fucking! I remember when I went snowboarding in Switzerland one Christmas, with my family, me and my brother. We attempted this freaking jump. I went to do this ramp, and with the snowboard, and it's the first time I'd ever tried to jump anything on a snowboard because I'd learned how to snowboard before going there, on dry slopes for
cool.
for I think 6 weeks or something.
Did you ever fall on one of them?
Huh?
Just lose half your
Oh,
body
yeah,
weight,
yeah,
fucking
it's a bit-
dragged
yeah, it's a
down.
bit
That's
rough,
what's fake snow made out of? Barbed wire and glass.
Yeah.
By the looks of things.
Yeah. It's fucking horrible. That what's it called?
I've no idea. It's in a crisscross shape, and it's just
yeah.
all this really
It's not
tough.
AstroTurf, is it?
I think it might be like a really sort of stiff.
But you don't
AstroTurf.
go anywhere near as fast
AstroTurf.
on a dry slope as what you do when one of the first
Oh,
things.
that, yeah.
One of the first feelings of getting on the snow was like, bloody hell, this is a lot faster than the dry slopes I learnt on. It was mad. But yeah, so I did this jump, and I just came up to it really fast. Didn't think about doing anything once I went up there. I just kind of let it take me. I went up in the air, and then I just saw my knees above me and my fucking feet on my board, and I really thought I was about to die because I thought, right, I'm going down, I'm about to hit the ground, I'm going to hit it with my head. Oh my god, this is going to hurt. But it didn't hurt. It was actually quite soft. I landed on my shoulders, and then my legs kind of hit the ground because it was snow. It's actually really surprising how it doesn't hurt when it's like deep snow. Anyway, I landed and I knew my brother was coming after, trying to get over the like panic of like thinking I was about to die, and then I just see my brother go over me, like exactly the same position I was in, must have been. And he just like landed exactly like I landed, but just like a foot in front of me. And it was like, fucking hell. First I had the fear of thinking I was going to die when I hit the ground, then I had the fear of thinking that my brother was going to freaking break my neck, like freaking fall on me, but he didn't, like he went straight over me. And we were both like, well, that was shit, wasn't it? We won't try that again.
Yeah.
That ski jumping world record, it was this year.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
16th of February.
Oh,
I just-
nice.
I
was
just want to
broken-
see
it
it. I just want to.
What's on here?
All right, excellent. We'll
Broken
chuck a link up to the video.
It's broken twice in the same day. Slovenian chap called Peter Prevk. He did 250 meters.
Fucking A. There's a
But
200
then it was that guy, like on the same meet, 251 and a half.
there's a 254 meter jump. That's an unofficial world record because of qualifying events and not what events that aren't world championships or Olympics. I don't think count.
Vandermeer said, I would love to jump 300 meters someday. I thought it would not be possible to jump longer than 250 meters, but the conditions were perfect for long flights, and I made the best jump of my life.
Yeah, you need
The
like
longest
a
jump-
backwind and stuff, I guess.
The longest jump is every ski jumper's dream. It's hard to compare with the Olympic medal. We are dreaming of the long jumps, not the medals actually.
But the long jump will get you
The long
the
jump.
medal if you do it at the right time.
Yeah, it's-
That's cool.
Oldest stone tools discovered today, 3 million years old. So they predate humans. What do you think of that?
Well, monkeys were using them. Chimps were using tools.
Yeah.
What for? To build houses. So we had buildings before we evolved.
We're always evolving.
We built stuff. We built stuff before we became what we are now.
I'm going to just make you listen to the last
When
time
we
we
were
discussed
chicks.
evolution instead of going through it again.
Planet of the
But
Apes, mate, is what happened.
Oh, that's a good shout.
How do they know they're actually tools? Just because they look like them?
They're chipped. That's how you know, like sort of spearheads and things are chipped with hands, not human hands though, and made into sharp sort of digging implements and stabbing
So they
tools.
know that they weren't made by human hands.
No, it predates the earliest human remains, so Homo sapiens.
You know, I'd be very impressed, Tone. I mean, that's
the
what
bloody
that's
hell?
what they look like. It's not like what you get
Oh,
down
look
to
at-
being.
No,
human.
mate,
Sorry.
they're not. They're just stones.
I wish you could see his face. I wish you could see his face because you were expecting a fucking jigsaw.
He
I
was.
know it,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, but I
Claw
was
hammer,
expecting.
screwdriver.
Yeah, I was
What-
expecting these tools that had been like made.
What were you
So-
expecting?
He said so they could build houses with them.
Yeah,
dude.
good point. Yeah, so a
What
cement
tools do
mixer,
you think?
the
Oh,
fucking.
not be funny, but all those tools look the same. They're all just stones in slightly different shapes.
As opposed to what?
That's a shit toolbox.
during the
Whoever
Stone
was
Age.
walking around with that toolbox.
What do you
fucking
propose they would have
had
made
no clue
tools
what they were
out
gonna
of?
do with them.
Fucks.
Hmm?
Those are the
Whoever
toolbox.
or whatever creature was walking around with that toolbox had no idea what they were about to do with those
What was
tools.
the toolbox made out of?
I love the fact the toolbox may have been invented first.
Mate, I don't think they're tools. I think an animal, some sort of creature's got a hold of them and just started smashing them against like rocks and trees, and they've just made these weird shapes.
No, think about how they're found, okay? They're not just randomly picked up on a beach and somebody go, oh, looks
Oh,
like
what
a
they were
fucking
found
old
on a
thing.
shelf
They
in a
get-
toolbox. Because unless they're found in a toolbox or somewhere where it looked like
Oh my god!
someone was
St-
working,
Malcolm, Stephen, come
No.
quickly!
they're not tools.
It's a real Stone Age shed! Let's go!
No, it's because they have like a stone called like the core stone that is like chipped and bits shredded away, and that's what they use to make the tools. So that they're in specific shapes of like, well, they're like shards or
And
like
they're found
sharp
together,
edges, like
all
you
with
use
remains
hammers.
of people.
So it all comes from one stone. So it's like
Right, well, I think they made a
Manufactured.
mistake then with the date.
no, they haven't.
They have, blatantly, because
No,
why
it's
would they who would have made
No,
tools?
it's saying that
Only humans would have made tools.
no,
surely.
it's saying that more ancient species.
Obviously not.
It's earliest humans in the Homo genus in Kenya. This is.
You were saying they were obviously more intelligent. They were.
Well, yeah, there's one. It's called. All right, I'll try and do this
Then they
justice.
should
The
have.
name
okay.
is
And we think.
Australopithecus afarensis, which is a sort of primitive species. There's a representation of.
We'll chuck a link
What?
up to this story, of course.
It looks like a. It looks a bit like a Chinese man with a load of hair.
Well, there you go.
They need to try and
Definitely.
find something now that those tools might have been used on.
That's what they're saying. There's a number of possible candidates. There's another hominin called Kenyanthropus platyops. I think that's how
Okay.
you'd say it. It's the best we're gonna get.
What was-
So it's like there are like remains of these animals, this species, you know, in the area as well.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's great.
But it was
Neither of these
interesting what he
species-
said.
Neither of these species was assumed to be particularly intelligent.
Well,
They had
obviously
both
not.
human
Look at those
and, they had
tools.
human and ape-like features with relatively small brains. However, the tools suggest they may have been smarter than assumed.
Like they could have been, you know,
Definitely.
Well, no, I'm saying they got
They might have
skeletons.
not had hands. They might have done it with their.
No, they had hands.
They know they had
Might have done it with
hands
them
because they got
mouths.
We've got
because they got
skeletons,
skeletons,
and
haven't they?
fossils.
Oh, well. I don't know. Like squirrels can do some pretty amazing things with nuts and stuff. So maybe they just like.
Do they have the
little-
cognitive faculties though to think like Justin said, to pick
Yeah.
things up, to think I need a tool to do this, and to think, you know.
Well,
Yeah, well,
magpies
that's if they're tools,
do.
mate. We're assuming they're tools.
Magpies are amazing because they do have that ability.
Crows. You've seen that, haven't you? The problem-solving crow.
Oh, it is crows, isn't it? It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
magpies.
No, I think a magpie's a crow. I think
Really?
it's, yeah, I think it's part of the crow family. Yeah.
Is it a magpie specifically that has to move 8 objects in order to release?
No, that
food?
was a black crow. I've seen
Right,
that video.
yeah,
We'll chuck a
yeah,
link
yeah.
up to these amazing birds, these problem-solving capabilities in crows. There's a bit of food tone in a cylinder that a bird can't reach and get its beak, and there's a hooked piece of metal and a little bit of wire on top of the food so that it can get hooked. Never seen it before, and it picks up the hook the right way, puts the hook in the tube, and takes it out and eats the food. There's also a pulley system, 3 strings that are in a cage. One of them links to seed to spill out. It doesn't do it by a process of elimination. It looks and immediately pulls the right string. Happens
Oh,
every single
man.
time. Every single time.
They're 700,000 years older than any tools.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Previously
It's
known
not,
to exist.
Ken, it's not impressing me. It doesn't really impress me because I don't. Believe, I don't believe the tools, so it's not working on me. I think that they just wanted to find something interesting to write about, some new discovery because they're getting bored because they can't find anything cool these days. So they're just coming out with anything.
Come on, anything. We've got these old rocks here. What should we do? Dead old tools, like older than the other
Well,
tools.
they've done
that
finding all the
found.
cool stuff
Yeah.
now. You know, like dinosaur bones and that. Now they gotta like freaking try and dig new stuff out of the bag. Like, oh, I found some tools. Oh, we found
It's
a
not
basket.
magic.
Oh, we
it's not
found a
travelling
basket
magic
woven
show,
out of
Tony.
leaf.
They're not like trying to just find.
We found what we think might be a salt shaker, but it could also be the horn of an animal. We're not quite sure.
There's some brilliant cave paintings that are now partitioned off. Are they in Australia? No, they must be somewhere in Africa. There was a story about them being recreated because you can't go into the cave because of, they get closed off because of the oxidization of the air, and breath will eventually erode the paintings. And it happened when they first had like sort of the first 50,000 visitors. There was noticeable degeneration of the actual paintings. So they recreated it in a museum, recreated the entire internal cave system with the paintings. And they were wondering why the buffalo, and they weren't buffalo, but why the animals at the time, big tigers, why they were drawn with sort of sometimes 3, sometimes 5 legs, rarely 4. And they realised that when you light a fire in the inside of the cave, the flickering of the light makes it look like they're all running.
Oh no
And the
way!
Guys have done always in big crowds, so it looks like a hunt when they flicker
No
it. Yeah, you can see
way.
videos of that too, which I'll chuck a link up to, man.
No way, because I've seen that happen on like a scene in Ice Age when it all comes to life.
Oh, fuck.
Flashback.
I don't think it was as elaborate.
No, but that might
as
be
that.
No,
why-
you're thinking of, that's not Ice Age, you're thinking of
Yes, Ice Age.
the Croods.
When he remembers it being
Oh,
taken
yeah.
from his parents. When he remembers
That
like,
also happens,
in
I'm
the
sorry, yeah, no, you're quite right. Yeah, it's a recurring theme. So
Maybe
it
that's
turns out Pixar were well on it before
yeah,
these
they
fucking
knew all
stories
about
like
that.
this.
They did the research, but bloody hell, that's cool. That's
Quite a
great.
lot of animation in those films as well, though, isn't there?
So what? Did they have like the stick men?
No, it's
throwing
not a
spears?
flip cave. It looks like guys with spears running after a herd of animals.
Cool. So it's just the legs that move in the flicker.
Yeah, it's shit, you're right, Tone. Yeah.
That is shit.
No,
These guys
why
living
couldn't
in
they
caves
master
with
the
just
arms
stones.
moving and stuff as well. That's
Imagine
really
how
cool.
long they looked at that for when they first figured it out.
Until they fell asleep. It was there to just help them fall asleep.
Dude, I bet they fucking.
What they didn't show is, of course, like the sort of the man's cave a bit further back, when there's just loads of people shagging. You just see loads of hips gyrating back and forth in the fire. Me pop to other cave. Always go other cave at night. Don't worry. Me also go other cave. Ah, why all men go other cave? Sorry.
Wasn't there something with those cave drawings where they because obviously they were drawing things that they could see, things that they saw around them every day.
Mhm.
Wasn't there supposed to be like something that they thought was a bit alien to that time that made them think that
So what did the aliens come down and do? Fuck all. Just left them dying in the waste.
No, it's just I don't know. I was watching a documentary about aliens or something and whether they could exist or not.
Oh, right.
And
But
there
not
was
cavemen,
a
then.
moment where they said there was something like, they were even drawings found in caves that could be interpreted as alien, that they saw aliens and stuff.
Have you ever heard of the
Like
idea
what?
of panspermia?
New.
It's the idea that life evolved on Earth after being placed here or coming here from another planet where life exists, either purposefully or by accident. It's there's a topic in science called abiogenesis, and it's how you get from non-living to living material. Where does life come from? The question that every sort of religious, don't have to be religious, any creationist, they just normally are religious, will pose to you. So where did life come from? How do you get from non-living to living matter? There's an interview that Richard Dawkins does with Ben Stein in a film that Ben Stein makes. It's fucking awful. But I'll chuck a link up. Because it's fair. I'm biased, obviously, and I'll freely admit that. But his tone throughout, and when Richard Dawkins mentions the idea of panspermia, he says, "Oh, really? Richard Dawkins doesn't believe in God, but thinks aliens could have done it." And you listen to the interview, and the interview's candid. Doesn't seem like they've edited it too much. But he's just talking about the idea, and he tries to fuck in with posited a theory that that a lot of people think could actually happen. Can't. Whereas you see people who reckon God did it, and nobody agrees. So don't even agree on the type of God. Fuck me. Direct threat to the advancement of civilization.
Iceland has a phallological museum.
Yeah, penis museum.
Have you seen it?
I've seen pictures of it. Yeah.
Oh my days.
How many penises?
What, these are all different types of penises? Are they like different shapes, sizes, colours?
I reckon it's got 1,000 penises.
No, it doesn't. No, not that many.
I reckon it's got 400 penises.
No. Jay, do you want to have a guess? How many penises?
148.
198.
I love how seriously you're taking it.
5.
276.
Nice.
And
A
some
total of
man giants as
276 specimens from all of Iceland's 46 mammals, along with a few foreign contributions. It's the world's only penis museum.
well. That's really awesome.
It's great.
Someone's negotiating the deals on them.
Some of the whale ones are like mounted on plaques, like sticking out from the wall.
Oh my god.
Dicks in jars.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, that's
oh.
more what I was expecting.
Yeah, you'd have to like preserve like us
That
because there's a
was-
lot
that
of them
was
you can
moving.
get
That one
the.
over there's moving. What's going on there? Just one of the people that works at the museum just drilled a little hole in the wall. He put a little plaque above it. With this one, you have to you must feel the texture.
Yeah, it's so realistic. It's
Very
robot
unusual
penis.
texture.
Okay, this guy,
Dick.
the founder,
Well, you'd have different ones for different people, wouldn't you?
the founder is called Sigurdur Hjartarson. He's from Iceland, so I don't know how the hell you pronounce it. But
Sigurdur Hjartarson.
yeah, okay. He opened it in Reykjavik in 1997 with 62 specimens, but since 2004, it's been in a sort of northern fishing village called Husavik with a population of 2,200 people. It has a huge, what they describe as an unmissable wooden phallus structure outside the museum. Draws around 11,000 visitors when it's in season, sort of May to September, so through the summer. But it wasn't until last year that the first human penis arrived, which was donated by 95-year-old Pal Arason, a friend of Hjartarson, described as a pioneer in Icelandic tourism and a famous womanizer.
Excellent. Yeah, why wouldn't you have that one? There's a penis bone in most animal penises. I think it's called a baculum. And humans don't have it. We're one of the very few creatures not to have it. So you'd have to have it preserved in like a jar or something, because otherwise they can be fossilised.
A Scott baculum.
That might be what I was thinking of.
There's a guy called Martin Thorson, 43-year-old Icelander. He said he was astounded by the whales, but kind of disappointed by the Homo sapiens. This guy, he carved his own wooden penises that cover the museum's phone, wall clock, and chandelier.
I think he might be obsessed. Open the museum and that, but if your hobby is also whittling penises,
Yeah.
I tell you, well, right, okay. Asked whether he'll be making his own personal donation, he said it depends on his wife. He'd been married for 50 years. He said, if she dies first, my specimen will go in there. But if I die first, I can't say. She might say no.
Touch of this week in history?
Yes, mate.
Excellent.
I love it.
Love it. Is it your favourite?
I do love it.
I do love it,
Do you know what?
yeah.
Because I find it. It's like because I always liked history in school. And it's like a bit.
No, you didn't.
I did.
What?
Just stuff about war and that.
I know
war
that
in
he knows
history.
that they
like war.
happened.
I like Romans and stuff as well. Yeah, I like the odd thing here and there. I just didn't like about the Industrial Revolution or that sort of shit. I hated that. It was boring. But
Alright, so we want none of that.
But no,
then.
yeah,
We
it's
want
nice.
Romans
It's a bit of
and war.
education, isn't it? Every week, you know, you're learning stuff about past. Yeah, I've got a complaint to make about that intro into This Week in History. It kind of seems to only be focusing on one sort of
Yeah, war.
phase in history.
That's what you think
World War
about
One?
when you think about history, so
Is it
I
World
chose
War
that on purpose.
Is it World War One or World War Two, mate?
Well, the sound, both
Yeah.
wars, both wars combined.
Yeah,
That and the Falklands
it's not enough.
and the Indochina
It's
War.
not enough. I feel like because you cover so much history in This Week in History, I think you need to try and, in that few seconds, try and cover a lot of different events.
I'll play the theme tune from The Big Bang Theory. There you go.
Yeah.
That covers it.
You won't get away with that. Where
Got
do we
some-
find ourselves?
I'll be completely honest, right? We got some crack in This Week in History this week.
Good.
Is that why you're taking so long to get to it?
Sorry. This week in 1896, a 6-ton chandelier falls on a crowd at the Palais Garnier.
6
Results-
tons?
6-ton chandelier falls on a crowd at the Palais Garnier, resulting in 1 death. Loads of other injuries. 6-ton chandelier.
Fucking hell, how big is that then?
6 tons?
I think a chandelier big enough to kill you.
Yeah. Well, I suppose depending on where you stood, a normal chandelier could kill you, but yeah, 6 tons. Palais Garnier, before it became a laboratoire. This week in 1899, the first traffic ticket is issued in the United States to a taxi driver called Jacob German for speeding,
Oh yeah.
ripping down Lexington Street at 12 miles per hour.
Oh my god,
And he was victim of the first ever speeding ticket.
that's
Oh.
awesome.
Imagine that argument. Not
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
when you know what they're about and you think, even just at the time,
Yeah.
12
yeah.
miles an hour, walking after him,
Yeah. Yeah.
giving him the ticket at a slow jog.
Yeah.
You're going too fast.
That's crazy, isn't it?
There are horses taking over me on this street. That's how we get about. 1899. You were early with traffic tickets, bastards. This week, it's probably the most interesting one, and it's got a cool phrase in it as well, or a name, I guess. This week in 1946, the physicist Louis Slotin, it said Slotin, it's Slotin, so it could be Slotin. So I'll call him Louis Slotin for this. So the physicist Louis Slotin is fatally irradiated during a criticality incident during an experiment at Los Alamos. He was trying to create one of the first steps of a fission reaction. And you do this by placing 2 half spheres of beryllium around a plutonium core. Alright? So he just in a lab, just doing it with gloves, and instead of separating the 2 halves with a film that you're supposed to, he used a screwdriver. And he had a screwdriver in between the 2 halves of beryllium, and the screwdriver slipped as he was placing the top half of beryllium on. There was like a dent in it where he put his thumb in. Screwdriver slipped, crashed together, and he was exposed to a real quick burst, but a very, very heavy burst, what's known as hard radiation. And that's ionising particles in the atmosphere. And it irradiates you. It melts you slowly. It took him 9 days to die of complete organ failure, and it's horrendous. But because he acted quickly, he didn't follow protocols. There's a lot of controversy about it. He didn't follow protocol by using a screwdriver, but he did when he knew what had happened. The big flash, the scientists in the room, there's a really beautiful blue-purple glow that happens when air is ionised. It's stunning. I'll chuck up a couple of pictures to it. But they also know that it's certain death, pretty much, maybe for everybody in the room. So I remember seeing that. The guy, Slotan, remembers a sour taste in his mouth. They all felt a really intense heat wave. Not enough to burn anybody, but it certainly warmed up the room. Anyway, he threw the top half of the sphere off. And then, yeah, like I say, died of irradiation. And it took him 9 days to do so. Right, the plutonium core, it's like a 3.5 kilo bit of plutonium, was involved in a similar accident the year before, and it killed a guy called Harry K. Dalian Jr. And then they subsequently called that plutonium core the Doom core.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
believe it.
Oh, man.
Just as I read more about the story, I thought irradiated, because when I heard irradiated, I thought, fuck, like melted like straight away,
Yeah,
like with
yeah.
a Superman blast.
Yeah.
But then reading more about it and how experiments were conducted there, and he was just, you say, trying to demonstrate one of the first steps of fission, but then a fission reaction, a very small but very intense fission reaction happened right there.
And did they know those effects before it happened to him? So did he know exactly what was going to happen?
Yeah, mate.
to him?
Yeah. Is it,
Oh my
you
God.
know, Los
That's so
Alamos and
funny.
the Manhattan Project, the project to harness nuclear energy, the birth of the atom bomb.
Right.
Really, a lot of famous scientists involved. There's so much. When I chuck the links up to this, please read them. Richard Feynman probably being the most famous physicist involved. Fucking excellent guy. So yeah, they knew a lot about it. They were conducting experiments in order to try and harness this power properly, to use it as we know now in power stations, but first and foremost, of course, weaponry. Because as soon as something's powerful enough, you've got to see how many people it can kill at once.
Second World War tones. You like it?
So I'm going to nominate my cunt of the week as His Royal Highness Prince Charles.
Right.
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, right, thanks for asking. Did you hear about it?
I think we're all just a bit confused as to why.
I met
work.
Prince Charles once, mate. He came to Newport Market.
I remember you saying, yeah.
And he
Yeah.
just like, looked at me and goes, I hope I haven't disrupted business.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's right.
That was it.
And yeah, we thought the best repulse would have been, of course you have. Don't be so fucking
He
flippant.
seemed very shiny when he was smiling, like he had this whole glow about him.
Well, it might be the alternative medicine that he's into, which is why he's this week's cunt of the week. Did you hear about the black spider letters they were called, published in the paper?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Letters from Prince Charles to Tony Blair, 2004 and 2005, and to other members of his cabinet as well, trying to influence governmental policy because of his position as an unelected, not even head of state, fruit of the loins of some Germans.
Future head of state, though. Yeah, probably not for very long at the rate that it's going.
No,
but
damn straight. Go Liz. Liz too. That's what I'm all about. And she hates him probably more than I do. She's listening, Majesty.
Yeah.
Proper cunt, right? So the Black Spider letters, mostly about agriculture. It's got some good
Yeah,
ideas.
I didn't think they were that bad. I just
It's got some
thought
good ideas. Really at the forefront of the fight against global warming. Big activist for that. However, also a big activist for alternative or complementary therapies. Homeopathy is his real passion, I guess. In one of the letters, he said that they'd spoken, it said he quoted, that we'd spoken about certain EU regulations that effectively banned some herbal products. And he said it was like trying to smash a nut with a sledgehammer. He was saying that blanket bans from an EU proposal that was called Quack Watch, to make sure people were being peddled shit, and that medication sold was what it was and actually had an effect, actually had some efficacy. They wanted to ban a load of herbal products, including arnica, that was in some pills for stretch marks for women, but it's actually poisonous. People take more because they think it'll help their stretch marks more, and they get acute poisoning. So they're going to ban quackery, and you have to have a license to try and prescribe anything. The reason they can get away with prescribing things like homeopathic remedies is because there's fuck all in them. It's water. Can't overdose on homeopathy, they say, or you can fucking drown.
you can drink too much water.
No,
yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, you can. On all this politics talk, Tone voted for the first time.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
it did, yeah.
cool. How'd it go?
did. Yeah, no, it was interesting. I'm a bit gutted actually about my first time because I watched all the live debates and stuff because I thought I really wanna actually know what I'm voting for and stuff. And I decided I was torn between Labour and Lib Dem. So anyway, I went down the road.
If you'd have voted Lib Dem, they would have interviewed you on the telly.
I went down the road
Definitely.
to vote, and I was still, as I was walking down there, I was thinking, oh shit, which am I going to go for? Which one am I going to go for? I hadn't made a final decision because I wasn't quite sure. Because I was really worried about I was actually worried about my decision, like as if it would make a fucking massive difference.
It's good.
But when I got in there, I don't know what happened, but I just changed my mind on both of them, and I just went for Plaid, yeah, I just went for Plaid Cymru, yeah, and I thought to myself after I'd done it, why did I do that? And I
Yeah.
thought, well, it was Welsh, it's in my interest, and Wales needs a freaking hand, so, and I live here, and all that kind of shit.
Yeah!
I thought, yeah, fair enough, I did it. But
Yeah.
then when I saw the results, I was so fucking gutted that I didn't just go for Labour because it may have made a little bit of a difference. And Lauren went for Lib Dem as well, so I was like, Lauren, we should have just thought about this, and we should have both gone for Labour. It may have made a difference. Think of how many people did what we did and would have gone for Labour, but decided to just go for a different one, and we would have stopped Conservatives from freaking winning. So I was really good.
I blame you
So
and Lauren.
my-
I blame you and Lauren.
my
fucking
first experience of voting just turned out really disappointing.
Fucking
And-
bad, mate.
And because I did actually like watch all the live debates and stuff, and I followed it. Now I am really interested in it, and I want to watch the news, and I want to see what's going on with the Conservative Party now, because if they,
There's a BBC Parliament channel you can watch, mate.
so it's
where
got me
just-
into politics anyway. I'm more into politics now than what I ever was.
Yeah,
I'll always
it's
regret my first vote. First time ever. I
Which regret that's the only line
I
of
was
a
into it.
chapter
I
in
wanted
your
it to-
That's
biography.
amazing.
Do you know what? I really wanted it to be more of an exciting outcome for me, more exciting.
This is how you make
because
history.
I voted for the first time. I wanted to win.
For the next election,
It's good.
you get in touch with Plaid Cymru and say, I always regretted my first vote because it was for Plaid Cymru. Make me think differently. You do the interview, you challenge them and say, I spoke. It's on record. This record.
Do you
I
remember
regret
me
my
saying
first
to you
vote.
as well that I wish I could vote for SNP,
No, I don't think so.
and you guys were like, well, you can't really vote for SNP.
You
Sorry.
could have been SNP
You are right.
candidate stood in your constituency. It's just unlikely.
Anyway,
Why didn't we do that to make history? Why didn't I join the SNP and stand
Oh my god, that's amazing.
as the candidate? Oh fuck!
Well,
Yes, mate.
there it is. I'm sorry, man, but that will not be difficult.
Come on, man, that's brilliant. That's
Okay.
fucking brilliant. How
Nicola
soon did
Sturgeon
you
will
do
be in a
that?
wicked mood as well now, so we should email her soon. I bet she's got a Twitter account.
Oh,
Right, we'll follow you, Nicola Sturgeon, and we propose Kenneth Traynor as our MP for Newport East.
You can't do that. Is you can go wait either for the by-election or possibly could get on the local council or something.
That's fine. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But we're just formally saying, what do you reckon to this? It's not a joke. You could win.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask Ken a question. What is your policy on recycling?
The SNP has always been progressive about green issues, and we are pro recycling. We want more colours of bins. Around the city.
yeah.
We don't even know what a purple bin is for, but we want to see them everywhere.
Yeah.
When we run out of stuff like that, we'll go transparent.
Sweet. So yeah, anyway, Prince Charles, you are this week's cunt of the week.
That's not where that started.
Honourable cunt.
I have a suggestion for Hero of the Week.
Awesome.
I'm
Let's hear
for
it.
Hero of the Week. It's a gentleman named Keith Clark. I don't know if anyone saw this story. Popped up today. I saw it just as we were sitting down to start recording. Keith Clark, basically his bank, Santander, your favourite Tone, they flagged up that his debit card had been cloned. This was at the end of April, so he praised them for that. When he was contacted by them, he said blah blah, okay, been cloned, etc. So he destroyed the one card, and they said his new card would arrive within 8 to 10 days, which is excessive anyway, right? And of course it didn't. And so after that, he went into his local branch and was told that they hadn't actually ordered one. A new card, a replacement card hadn't been ordered. So he immediately ordered a new one, but this didn't arrive. And so he started a new project on Monday, as in this Monday. He made a clone debit card. He cross-stitched it like a Santander debit card and posted it to Santander. And it arrived there before he still hasn't received this replacement debit card.
He what?
He made a replacement card of sound like cross stitch and sent it to them to
Oh
prove a point
my God.
that he could do all that in the time.
Right.
so
Fucking
cool.
hell.
That's so good.
That's
Keith
really
Clark.
fucking good, man.
Keith Clark.
Fucking well in. Good cross stitcher as well.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's
he
amazing.
does a bit. He
Is that a lethal Bizzle cross stitch that he's done there?
yeah. He makes them on the tube to kill time. He says. So he like posts them on social media.
Look at the fucking.
Yeah,
I
on
can't
the
wait to
tube.
check this up.
On the tube to kill time.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Keith has sent us the details needed to locate his account on our system, and we're working to get him his new card. A spokeswoman for Santander said, "Excellent customer service is always our top priority, and we'll be looking into this carefully."
Clearly not.
No, exactly. What a load of bullshit. There's also a link to a story about a guy in Texas last year who he paid his taxes in $1 bills, but I don't know how this happened, right? But he had folded each bill so tightly that it required tax office personnel approximately 6 minutes to unfold each bill. So yeah,
That is wonderful.
it was $600. So yeah, 3,600 minutes or 60 hours. They reckoned it would take to. There's an article. It's on Forbes.
Imagine how long it took him to fold them up.
Well,
Like
exactly.
Who gives a fuck? I don't care if it took him twice as long.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. It's just, yeah.
It's genius though, because it's on the Forbes website and they really go into detail about it, saying that he turned up. The date is the 1st of February, I think. Basically, you usually mail your tax bills at the end of October, but the actual final deadline is generally February the 1st, after which the payment's considered what they call delinquent. So he arrived at the courthouse on January the 28th to pay his taxes, which means he was technically on time. And it goes in about cash is acceptable, blah, blah, blah. But then it says that, of course, because it would take 60 hours, which is more than a working week, for them to unfold the bills and then technically count them, that it would be late by the time, his taxes would be late by the time they confirmed it.
Bastards.
And he got arrested.
Fuck.
No, not for doing that, but because he...
Because he's letting his taxes.
Well, it was like a big spectacle and everything, so all the work in the office halted, so one of the guys there asked him to leave and he refused.
Right.
So he wasn't done for this tax thing, he was charged with criminal trespass because he refused to leave the government. Yeah, it was a chap called Timothy Andrew Norris
Timmy Norris.
in Texas
Nice.
last year. But yeah, my hero of the week, as I say, Keith Clark, just because I thought, I don't know, it's the little man.
Beautiful.
Do you know what I mean?
Beautiful work.
Yeah, fuck you to the big man. And I know Tone's linked to the Tone's Santander Odyssey.
You are right, they are
Look at him
shit.
shaking his head.
There was one time we were on a. I can't remember where we were, but Tone was out.
If you're on about when you pranked me,
No,
pretend
no,
from
not a prank,
Santander.
right? I phoned, pretend to be from Santander,
Yeah, this was in
from a
Bath.
withheld number, right? And I said to him that a large amount of money has been attempted to be transferred from your account in the past 20 minutes. Have you done any activity such as this, like this amount, blah, 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 has been transferred from this account to an account you've never transferred money to before? And he was like, oh, no, I haven't done anything like that in the past, whatever it was, 60 minutes or something like that. She was like, no. I was like, all right, okay, so we need to verify that you're the person using the card, blah, 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 blah. Can you give me the entire number on the front of the card, please? Fucking gave it to me. Like, yeah. I was like, can you give me the start date? Yeah. No, end date, yeah. Can you give me the account number? Yeah, everything, full name, the reverse of the card, like fucking all that. And I was just like...
Yeah, you know why, right? Because the accent was so convincing, and they are
There you
a
go.
lot of and they have run before to to double check stuff.
Have they,
like,
Tone?
If a payment,
Have they, or is it just
They
some
have.
guy? Like,
if a big payment has been made, they normally ring to make sure that you're aware that it's been made. So when he rang me with this accent and started explaining this, I wasn't surprised at all. I was like, right, okay, and I actually misunderstood him on the phone because I thought that what he was saying is that they needed that I was expecting money in and that they couldn't get the money in to the account. That's what I thought it was.
Amazing.
But anyway, I carried on like talking to him, and he said something like, "Hi, I'm." It goes, "We've got a so and so." He gave the name of was it something balls? So balls. I'm trying to pay this money
This is
into
how
your
we
account.
revealed it.
And
to
I
him.
went, sorry, what? Who was that? He's got, an Ed Balls? Was it Ed Balls?
No.
Something else. And I said, sorry, can you spell that?
It was Dick Balls.
And I said, sorry, can you spell that? And he started spelling it to me on the phone, and I was trying to, oh right, okay. And I still didn't get it. There was a prank.
Didn't we have a tweet from someone?
We did. From Squeegee Beckenheim. Joe counts 48 heads and 134 legs among the chickens and dogs on his farm. How many dogs and how many chickens does he have?
You could say anything.
And how many legs?
How many? 49 heads.
48 heads
So that's
and
48
134 legs.
Yeah, so you could say 46 of them are,
No, there's definitely there's
Cows.
48 eggs.
No, he's right, man.
and only 2
Yeah,
of them are chickens.
134, so 65 chickens, 1 dog.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Squeegee Beckenheim. Ah, done it.
Nailed it.
Is that the actual answer? Is there a proper answer?
No, that's definitely right though. Are you ready to do some real talking, mate?
Yeah.
Because you're poor showing in that question of tone, where we all hijacked it because we wanted to be the best at maths. All right, it's time for Just Tone Minute. Tone, as the returning player, you get to go first. So, without hesitation, repetition, or deviation, you have 1 minute to talk about soap operas, starting from now.
Soap operas always seem to
Hesitation.
I can't do it.
We're gonna really hammer the rules, okay? Today, I'm gonna be Nazi-ish about it. So I reckon Ken can get on in this game as well because he did a fucking sterling job the other day. Although it was superheroes. Jay, with 54 seconds remaining, soap operas, go.
The actor Sean Bean has been approached many times to star in EastEnders, or at least in one episode, but he would always refuse. So instead they turned to the next best thing, which was Alfie Moon. He, of course, was played by
Stop,
Shane
hesitation.
Ritchie.
Said
Did I?
yeah, big time.
The voice, I think, helps.
There you go then, don't do it in an accent.
Doing an accent, that's right.
No, I can't.
39 seconds
Yeah,
remaining,
still, it's
Antonio, the soap opera, go.
Soaps seem to use themes that you can relate to.
Hesitation.
normal-
I
Okay,
really
good.
like that.
I just realised how tempting it is to say That's why I had to break
The
between.
trick is,
I know, but that's why I was
I am
talking
terrible
like
at
that.
this
Because
game,
every time
that's
I
why
pause, it's because I would have said
alright buddy, 33 seconds remaining, Justin. Soap opera, go.
I'll continue from where I left off about Shane Ritchie, who played the character of Alfie Moon, who later married Kat Deely? No, that's not right.
Deviation from the truth and hesitation, Antonio. 25 seconds remaining, the soap opera. Maybe just take your time a little bit. Go. Hesitation. Justin. 21 seconds remaining, buddy.
fucking
The soap
hell.
opera. Off you go.
Sorry, to pick up from where I left off, Kat Slater was the character I was talking about in the aforementioned part where I was speaking of Shane Ritchie, who played Alfie Moon, of course. So to move on to the point that I generally want to make about EastEnders is that it reaches quite high for its calibre of actor. As I mentioned at the beginning, Sean Bean was approached and always refused.
Well,
Repetition! There was repetition before that.
Why didn't you say anything
What did you say then?
Oh,
It was because I said Alfie Moon
Oh,
and Shane
because
Ritchie.
I'm not the referee. Dan is. I was waiting for Dan.
No. You can.
He is right,
your
Dan. You
game,
did
mate.
purposefully put on that black and white striped shirt.
Okay, Antonio. You've got 7/10 of a second.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
Watch Never Lies, mate.
Right.
Justin's lost
You
the
gotta
last
think
two
hard.
of these by the slimmest of margins. So you've got 7/10 of a second to talk about soap operas. Go.
EastEnders is set.
Yeah, well done, mate. Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Tone wins his first Just Tone minute.
Bye, buddy.
Yeah.
How's your library coming along, Kenneth?
It's alright.
Excellent.
But
Well,
it's not really a library, it's a stack, isn't it? I'm stacking them up.
All right. Well, let's take a look at one of them stacks. As we
There's
enter Ken's literary salon.
You were saying earlier that you'd read a bit of Blasted.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I grabbed hold of that. Just to have a quick reminder, actually, because we were speaking about it, and I thought, yeah, I've seen loads of individual scenes from that. I've seen it at least twice, but yeah, I can't remember reading it. So I had a good look through it.
You got a copy of it, have you?
No, online.
Ah.
Yeah. Just so I remember, pretty much. Yeah, I didn't really care for it. It kind of gets worse and worse and worse and worse, and then a lot worse. Yeah.
Do you think they'll put that on the back of the book one day?
No, but I read like sort of the early reviews and then the later sort of reviews of revivals of the show as well, and then like how reviewers slagged themselves off. Saying how weak-minded they thought it all was. What have you been reading, Kenneth?
I read a book called Missing Person by Patrick Modiano.
Beautiful. Beautiful name.
Yeah, read a bit of Modiano before. If you remember the Search Warrant, the
Yes.
Dora Bruder story. Read that. I read finished rather, because I was reading it previous week as well. Cities of the Red Knight by William Burroughs. Yeah, it was fascinating. In its the thing that really got me as well, because the other book I read that I finished yesterday was a book called The Final Program by Michael Moorcock.
You've gone mental this week.
Yeah. I bought, it's a Jerry Cornelius novel, The Final Program, and I bought the set, the 4 novels. They come in a volume called The Cornelius Quartet, and they're from the sort of, I think the first one's from 1968, and then they're progressively through the 70s he wrote these books. But very, very influential on Grant Morrison. And on The Invisibles in particular, which was his sort of big work.
Grant Morrison, Scottish comic book writer.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But what's also interesting was just how much Cities of the Red Knight made me think about some of the ideas in The Invisibles, to the point that I don't know if he must have read that and it's just through a different filter.
Good show.
Because there's a lot of stuff in Cities of the... There's a lot of stuff in The Invisibles, basically. The whole point of it is to say that, like, everything in existence is like one being. Like, as if we start with a cell that divided and then just kept dividing, and it's where we are now. So everything's linked together. And there's this thing about reality being like a game almost, in the way that, like, you could get outside of it and go back in as a different character, but you'd be a different person. So there's bits... It's a sort of inferences of, like, certain characters could meet, but it's actually the same person sort of interacting, you know, at different points, or it's a weird thing. But well, one of them does, yeah.
Oh, of course.
But it's that sense that you could get out. Remember we talked about it with the Grand Theft Auto 5 thing, the way it zooms out the character and you drop in again. It's essentially like it was like that, but done. You didn't see it as a part of a process, but it was just inferred that, you know, you could do this. Because he had this idea at the time, he was talking about characters being like he called it a fiction suit, the idea that you could, like, have a character who's like an avatar of you, and you wear the fiction suit to kind of compact down into the kind of fictional reality of the comic and so on. He's into all this sort of stuff, Grant Morrison. But no, it was just that Cities of the Red Knight, I think, published in 1981, something like that, and had a lot of similar ideas in it, but done completely differently. But yeah, loads of stuff, loads of different narratives. One involving, like, a private eye called Clem Snide in the roughly contemporaneous New York, and then the other one's about, like, these sort of kids, these sort of 4 sort of homosexual young lads who, like, end up joining this, like, sort of anarchist pirate collective, and that sort of spreading throughout the world. It's really fucked up, but it's all to do with, like, there's all this odd stuff in it as well about like these viruses that are like let loose through time and stuff, and it's very odd writer William Burroughs, because he sort of just had, like, I don't know, just like tons of ideas, and then they're sort of edited up and chopped up and smashed together. And in the same way, like, I was reminiscent of someone like The Invisibles, in that some characters are the same person and they're just different versions, and you get, like, one line that would sort of say this, and it doesn't quite add up properly, but it must do. And I think that's the trick of it, that kind of writing. It's about 300 pages, this book, and it's really, really dense. Yeah, like I say, I don't think it adds up properly and makes sense, but I'm kind of convinced that it must do, and that's why I keep thinking about it and keep trying to do it. I had the same thing when I read The Wild Boys, if you remember.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You finish it going, fuck.
Yeah. I need to think a bit more about that one. Yeah, and as I say, though, now I've gone on and started reading these Jerry Cornelius novels, which were also very influential on Grant Morrison's work. It's a sort of late 60s sort of spy adventure type of thing. It's very much just a sort of, I don't know, just like sort of swimming in the culture of the time. I would say. Yeah, it's just all about it's about blending and merging, because it builds up towards a sort of like hermaphrodite marriage of two characters. So there's a lot of stuff about the different, you know, kind of, I guess, 60s explosion of different gender rules, or the possibilities of it that he was seeing, you know.
Does the 2 hermaphrodites get on with one another?
No, it's one. It's a merging of 2 people, of a male and a female,
right,
into
right.
one body. It's got
see.
sci-fi elements to it as well.
Right.
What a stupid question.
That's coming from the master as well, man. So you know.
Do the two hermaphrodites get on with each other? Yes, they do. Yeah. So I'm a bit tired tonight. I feel I wasn't very good last week either because I listened back to it. And I think what I was trying to say, and I can't articulate it properly now, but I think I can do it better than I did last week.
It's late.
Was
so.
that reading the Sarah Kane stuff? Yeah. Remember I said it was like blasted was the explosion and everything else just stripped away and stripped away. So when you got to Crave, it's just 4 voices. When you got to 448 Psychosis, it's like there's nothing that's like a play. It's just a text. And it's like, I think that the whole project was coming from, like, as in her entire project, was coming from this sort of depressive state of this kind of flat, like, almost sort of lack of stimulus, lack of emotion, and it was about trying to sort of explode theatre, but explode it through these kind of confrontations. So I think it's like if you strip things away, it was almost about touching things just to pull them away. Do you see what I mean? I think that's why it goes to, like, these quite ridiculous places. Yeah, to ultimately end up at the state that actually it's so nihilistic. 448 Psychosis. It's so like kind of on the edge of everything.
Awesome.
And I think that's what I was kind of trying to say when I was talking about having to confront things. But I think there is a sort of purpose, but it's on that sort of meta level. It doesn't, that's my theory on how it can work anyway.
Nice job.
I think that's a fucking cool theory, man. I
'Cause
do.
yeah, and I think about it especially in the way that, because when you said last week that there's thing people talk about Sarah Kane's work as in like, because someone had to go there, and there's like other theatre stands in relation to it. That's its point. Yeah. That's its context. Yeah. But whether she was, I don't know if that was, that's a conscious thing.
No, but when you talk about a depressive state and the nihilistic side of it, does fit very, very firmly with her personality. Seems like a very sensible analysis of a body of work.
Well, I hope so.
Doubtless. That was very, very informative literary salon, Ken. And I'd like to thank you as one of my co-participants this week, alongside Justin Cliff
Thank you, Dan.
and Antonio Romola.
Cheers, Dan.
Nice one, Dan.
Oh, thanks, Dan.
No worries.
Did you yawn as you said that then?
He's a very tired Justin, I think.
Yeah, man, it's like half 10.
Is it?
Yeah. Gotta have 10, boys. Because it was right at the end, and when I what was that? Alright. It was right at the end, so when I finished, I definitely finished.
I'm
Don't
putting
do
it
that
there
then,
so I
you
don't
fucking
shake
mine.
I'm putting it there so I don't shake my foot.
Clearly did.
No, I didn't.
Just don't shake
That was
your
it. I
foot.
reached down for
Cross
a
your legs
drink.
on the sofa. Like Tone's doing.
Yeah, you've been
Get out, I
You've
feel
got-
like a fucking house cat.
You've
been
no
a pain,
idea.
mate. You've been a
You've
pain.
no idea.
You
how
can't
fucking
tell
frustrating it
you
is.
tell a house cat what to do. It just ignores you.
Alright, what am I? What fucking animal am I?
The dog, mate. Dog does all that shit. Sit, stand up, give me a paw. I gotta wrestle Marilyn to get hold of those paws.
Yeah, you wrestle her too much, I think.